It's happy hour again from Central City in New Orleans. Hi, I'm Graham da Ponte. I'm sitting in for Grant Morris today. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network itsneworleans.com, brought to you today in part by Pearl Wine Company, 3700 Orleans, and the American Can Company. The American Can Company, is that its American Can building, right? It's open from noon to midnight every day, from Sundays noon to 8. So got to go home early on Sundays. Get ready for the week. The show is also brought to you today by Petite Pet Care. Dog walking and pet sitting, loving care when you're not there. More information at petitepetcare.com or 504-300-9-PET, P-E-T. If you're an iPhone user, check out the podcast app Swell. It's the Pandora of podcasting. It finds podcasts you might be interested in and it lets you take them home with you. Available only on iTunes for right now. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is, no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limo or out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you, because that's New Orleans. And this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. In this case, Casa Borrega in Central City on Oretha Castle, Haley Boulevard in Central City. Casa Borrega is a bar, a restaurant, and a live music venue, and definitely a place to try if you haven't yet. Come to Casa Borrega and have a drink, an awesome meal, listen to some music, or just hang out with us at Happy Hour. My guests today sitting around the table with me at Casa Borrega today are Michele Magill Smith. Michele was born and raised in New Orleans and has lived here all her life. As the product of a Catholic school upbringing from kindergarten through law school, Michele learned to wear plaid well. And that, I think, is an underrated talent. Michele, would you say?
Right.
You never know when you're going to need to wear plaid.
Exactly.
Are you wearing plaid today?
Not today.
Plaid today, no. All right. Michele got her law degree from Loyola. She went to work as an assistant DA in New Orleans. You were there under Harry Connick, right?
Yes, I
like
was.
me.
Senior.
I was there too. Yep. Harry Connick Senior, right?
Yes.
Son was never a DA. He would have been Harry Jr. would have been a good DA.
Yeah.
I think, but did you have to sign a contract for 3? Did you stay for 3 years there? Did you?
Just about. Just about. I
did
was a
you-
couple months short.
You were short.
Yeah.
All right. Like many lawyers or former lawyers, Michele is a frustrated writer at heart. So her clerking jobs at both the district and appellate court levels, which involve a lot of writing, have been an outlet for those talents. And you're still clerking, right?
Yes, I am.
Right around the corner from your house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you do any of the writing? Do you have a blog or anything you can direct us to? Any websites we should look at?
No, but you've given me a good idea.
All right. Well, I can tell you that Michele is here in part because one of the producers of the show, and that would be me, is friends with her on Facebook. And Michele, she used to harbor some political ambitions, but now they've been replaced by some Facebook rantings about Fox News. and
Nice.
You also link to some very interesting sites, breaking news and pop culture. And where do you find them? Like, what do you peruse websites? How do you get those links?
I peruse websites, and one I find really interesting is PolitiFact, because it's sort of a nonpartisan website that rates things that politicians say on a truth scale.
Yeah, so they fact check.
Right, they fact check.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got to say, your commentary on those posts is always pitch perfect, so I guess another outlet for your writing. Michele's dad was a local sportscaster, and Michele was a DJ at WTOL for several years, so this should come naturally to you.
Yes.
This day, Michele is broadcasting right here with us at Happy Hour. Welcome, Michele. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Also here is Liam Pierce, originally from Oakland, California. Made his way to New Orleans in 2010 with StoryCorps, which I know and I want to talk to you about. I think you were here a few months ago.
Yeah.
And you talked a little bit about StoryCorps, right?
I was barely here.
You dropped by.
I dropped by.
We asked you a little about StoryCorps, but we want to hear some more. StoryCorps, you were recording stories of people who were impacted by the BP oil spill
Yes,
at that
yeah.
time. All right.
I was like a professional. They called it technically a what was the term for
Facilitator?
it? Facilitator.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
word
right.
for it. Yeah. So I kind of conducted interviews. I helped people conduct interviews for that project.
How did you get that gig? I just think that sounds like the coolest job.
I interned, and I showed up, and I had an apparent lack of knowledge about anything that involved in radio, and that's what they were looking for. So,
Really?
Yeah.
I actually did StoryCorps. And you know what's interesting? What I love about StoryCorps is The originator's name, do you know?
Oh yeah, Dave Isay.
Isay,
Yeah,
is that cool, right? Isay is a
It's
storytelling.
like the best off. So I always think about that.
it's
Best,
a really
you're not
good
well
name.
off, but you're the best off.
So you never bought a return ticket. You came for StoryCorps and stayed.
I came for StoryCorps and I stayed. I technically was a short job, and that's kind of cheating for me to say that, but it was a short job, and I decided that I had to come back. So I didn't have a return ticket to go back from where I came from, and so I stuck around.
That's great. Did you get your stuff?
I did, eventually. I'm still collecting it.
Good. All right. So you've got enough to get by. Well, one of your current jobs, if it's possible, is as at least as interesting as StoryCorps. I think you're the gondolier.
There's another one.
Another one.
The man who runs it, the man who owns the boat, has a really interesting story himself. But yeah, I'm a professional gondolier.
Yeah. And when you say professional, like how many days a week do you work? This is at City Park, right?
This is City Park. I work about 3 days a week, Friday through Sunday, and I'm teaching during the weekdays. And but I've been doing it for 8 years.
The gondolier thing?
I've been a gondolier
Awesome.
for 8 years. Yeah.
So those are, you must hear some stories on the gondola.
I see some stories on the gondola.
Is it a gondola?
Sometimes.
Gondola.
It's a gondola. Yeah.
You see some stories.
I see some stories. Yeah.
You want to tell us what?
I've got a lot. There's some of them that I don't know if can be broadcast on radio, but
Really?
Gondolier
yeah, there's
confessions.
been some indecent incidents on the boat,
God.
but there are also some very sweet and generally very heartwarming moments as
Yeah.
well. I learned how to row in Oakland, California. Then I ended up rowing in Central Park for a while, and then
Central Park?
in Central Park as
Wow.
well. And then when I came down here for StoryCorps, I saw a gondola on the bayou by the Noma, and I just knew I had to move here. So
And then you end up working on it.
then
That's
I ended
great.
up working on it.
You also are a teacher?
Yes, I'm also a teacher.
What do you teach?
I used to teach math, and I took up this job recently teaching reading to kindergarten through fifth graders. I'm a reading interventionist.
What's that?
It's
It
sitting around.
sounds serious.
We bring kindergartners into a room with a group of 20 of their loved ones, and we tell them they have a problem.
Reading.
No, it's technically you jump in.
I thought it was serious for a second. This is horrible.
I'm sorry. But yeah, basically, it's kind of interesting how they built the system. Everyone does intervention at the same time, even if you don't have problems reading. Everyone is technically in intervention, period. But there are other kids who are, more specially placed because they're having difficulties reading. So it's my job to kind of iron out the, gaps between different stages of reading. And it's not easy. It's definitely harder than rowing a gondola. I'll tell you that for sure.
Well, so tell us about the last thing that you do. It's probably not the last thing that you do, but it's the other thing that you do. Reminds me of the moth.
Journal. Oh, bring your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring your own. Lane Kaplan Levinson, who works in radio herself.
She was a guest.
She was a guest. I was supposed
go.
to be there, and I actually was taking a nap. I thought it started at 5, and so I showed up an hour into it.
But you were pretty early. You were early if you thought it was.
I was
5.
really
You were
early
super early.
Yeah, I was there like 4:45. I was proud of myself. Essentially, I started this storytelling series. I did the Moth in New York. I really liked the feel from StoryCorps itself. It had a really amazing level of intimacy to it. So I tried to build this storytelling series that kind of combined the theatrical stage-like element from the Moth and then a little bit more of an intimate setting like StoryCorps. So we set up essentially what we call like an outdoor living room. And we brought a bunch of people together to just tell stories on any and every subject, basically.
For 7 minutes.
7 minutes. 7 minutes. There is a winner. We broadcast them on the radio.
Who decides the winner?
We select 3 random judges, and sometimes like that's to our like absolute like pain in the butt that we have to like sit and listen to people say that they liked one of the worst stories. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. But at the same time, that's what's nice about it. It's like it's kind of self-perpetuating. People who are the judges end up deciding what happens afterwards. The person who wins the last storytelling series chooses the theme for the next one. It's all based on a theme. They have 7 minutes to tell a story on a theme.
You guys have one tonight, right?
Yeah, there's
and
one tonight.
For those of you listening, it won't be tonight because this doesn't come out until tomorrow. So, but you're going to leave here and you're going to go to bring your own
And set it up.
and set it up. That's good. And what's the theme tonight?
The theme is heroes tonight.
Ooh, I like that. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's gonna
Wait,
be
just
good.
to be clear, tonight is tomorrow.
Tonight.
Tonight is
Tonight is
yesterday.
Tonight. No,
Yesterday.
tonight is yesterday.
yesterday.
Tonight's yesterday.
Tonight's
Tonight
yesterday.
is last night.
Okay, got it.
Tonight's last
So,
night. That's
To
awesome.
myself.
So you put on-
Good luck with your hangover.
So-
I feel like that's less.
So my understanding is that you're reading. Is it one person? Is it a cast of people? Is it a single person doing like a?
Oh, the storytelling itself, it's all selected from, it's self-selected. So basically we send out an email to a list of people, and we ask them if they want to tell a story on a theme, and then people will respond to us. So it's first come, first serve.
How do I get on this list?
I can help you out.
I
with
would
that.
love to be
I can
on
help
this
you out with
list.
that. Sure. Yeah.
I don't think I could keep a story to 7 minutes.
All right, so my co-host here, Michael.
Sorry
no,
about
not
that.
at all.
I didn't
No,
mean
this
to
is what I
interrupt.
want. I want everybody jumping in because I get tired. My voice gets strained. Michael and Josh, the founders of Hazy Ray, right? And
Correct.
they're here also with Mitch.
Mitch was there the first day we started, so he is a founder as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's Mitch Curtis
Yes.
and Michael
Michael
Hayes.
Hayes, I'm sorry.
And Josh
Joshua Ray, for all intents and purposes.
Ray. Exactly. Right. Okay. You guys have been here before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were actually here for show number 46. I looked that up today.
Oh.
That was within our first year. So
That's
you
a
were
tidbit of history there.
there. You go. So it was 46. That was at the other venue, right?
It was. It
Yeah.
was uptown, right?
It's nice being here, though, right?
I
Casa
love this
Borrega,
place.
Central City. It's awesome. Have you guys played here?
We've never played here. I've seen two of my friends. They play here. Sasha and Jenna. They play here every Wednesday. I think.
Oh, they do.
They do
Oh, that's
like
good. I should check them out.
Brazilian, Portuguese type. It's
We should
great.
have them on the show.
You should.
We should.
I'll put you in contact.
Maybe we have. I don't know. I don't know. But if we haven't, we should. And if we have, maybe we'll bring them back like we brought you guys back.
Yeah.
So how did you guys all sync up together?
Ooh. Actually, in Texas, we all met in
College Station.
College Station, Texas, where the Texas A&M University is. I'm from there. Josh's wife went to school there. He went to school there. So it was a very odd place for what we do to meet.
And you guys were fans of New Orleans music before you moved here?
All of us individually is probably the only thing we had in common.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
And did you move
We
here?
hate each other secretly. That wasn't any of that. That was me.
Sometimes
Me.
not even secretly.
yeah, it was very, very open hatred.
Is that why you guys came here?
I graduated from LSU back in May, and so while I was at school, this was still a living, breathing project, and so we were playing gigs in Baton Rouge. I mean,
Yeah, our first gig was actually in New Orleans, and me and Mitch pretty much decided at that moment, while he was busy with all the collegiate responsibilities and irresponsibilities, that we're moving here after
definitely
our
both.
Awesome.
yeah.
That's
So
good. That's great. We love hearing that. So Michelle, have you ever seen? Michelle loves live music. Have you ever seen these guys?
No, I can't say that I have, but I will soon.
yeah, we can fix
Well,
that.
you're gonna hear them. You're gonna hear them
Oh yeah,
today.
you're gonna see us right now.
Yeah, actually, let me take a look at this. You guys have like a hike to the stage to get your stuff, right? So
I'm parked right out.
no, I mean to get they're parked at the stage over here, right? Your instruments.
Right.
Yep. All right. So why don't you guys? You want to play something now?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all keep talking.
Yeah.
Y'all keep
So
talking,
we'll
we'll
keep
get back
chatting.
over here.
You
Alright.
get your stuff. Okay. Sounds good.
All right,
Sounds
awesome.
good. All right. So, Liam, have you seen these guys ever?
No.
Never.
No, I haven't. I haven't been.
Lives are about to change.
I haven't seen a lot of live music lately. Just being the like early to bed teacher that I have to be.
Oh, what time do you have to get to school?
I mean, I have to be there at 9. 9 is when the classes start, but I like wake up at 6:30
Yeah.
every morning to do it.
To get there.
So it's unfortunate.
How
It's
far?
unfortunate I have to do. I work in Violet, Louisiana. so,
And do you live in New Orleans?
I
So
live in
that's
New Orleans.
that's a haul.
yeah, it's a bit of a haul.
You drive there?
I do. I carpool. I just
Awesome,
started
good.
carpooling. There's some very nice.
Sustainable.
Yeah, sustainable.
Sustainable
right?
transportation.
Green teacher.
And Michelle, you live right almost where you work.
Yes, in Plaquemines Parish.
And how long have you been with which court is over there? What court is that?
The 25th Judicial District Court.
So that is a state court?
Yes, and it's.
Work for the clerk or you work for a judge?
I work for a judge,
What judge are you clerking for?
Kevin Connor.
And how do you like Judge Connor?
Oh, he's great.
Yeah?
He's great. And basically, the parish is like one big family, and everybody knows each other's business. So it's kind of interesting to work in a court where everybody knows each other. And so when the litigants come into court, oftentimes it's somebody that the judge represented in his private practice, or
Does he have to disclose that on the record?
well, yes. I mean, he
Makes everybody win.
So, and then the other judge in our court used to be a DA in Plaquemines Parish, so he has to recuse himself on anything where he prosecuted somebody. So, and we do basically everything. We do everything from criminal to civil to traffic court to domestic. We do everything, and so it's really interesting. There's never a dull moment.
So you see, I was going to ask, is there anything particularly crazy that's happening now? Any case that stands out?
Not at the moment, but probably the biggest case we've had over the last year was Walmart wanted to build in the parish, and there was a big hue and cry against it, and that was in court for a while, and now it's kind of died down. So we're waiting to see if they come back and try to pursue that.
Well, good luck with that.
But we're like Mayberry in Plaquemines Parish. So
Did Mayberry? Was there a courthouse there? Did we ever see the courthouse in Mayberry? I don't think I remember that.
Oh, in Mayberry?
We saw the jail.
Is that where the
Sure.
jail was?
Otis. We saw Otis in the jail.
Otis Smith, I think was his name.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody ever getting adjudicated
No.
in Mayberry. Because
Not
the sheriff, you don't need a trial if Andy Taylor arrests you. You're guilty, and he's probably going to let you go anyway.
That's right.
Do you guys don't even know what we're talking about, do you? Andy Griffith.
I got distracted by the warming up the instruments. So. No, you're right.
So, all right. So let me just describe these instruments. We have Mike on. Is that a trombone?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful trombone. Oh, I was going to fine you every time you said ma'am.
Sorry about that.
I think I might need a margarita right now, later.
Yeah.
And
ma'am
Mitch is
margarita.
beautiful standing bass there. That's beautiful. And Josh has a guitar. All right. So
Very average.
what are you guys going to play? And who's going to sing?
Josh is gonna sing.
Who's going to sing?
Josh is gonna sing. We're going to play. Gentlemen, what do you want to play?
You want to play Internal Warfare? Is that okay? Or do you want to do something different? What do you want to do? You want to do your song?
No, you want to do my song?
Yeah, let's do your song.
Okay, let's do my song.
All right, everybody. This is Hazy Ray.
That's the name of the song is called "Songs About You," and we just recorded and we're gonna put out an EP here in the next couple of months called Superman EP, and this is gonna be on it.
Is it actually called Superman EP? Is that the EP?
I think it's just
I
it's
figured
Superman.
EP
It was just
is
called
kind of
Superman.
redundant.
Yeah, it's like the ATM machine.
Exactly.
Give us a second. We just play these and we're gonna tune them to each other. Okay.
Wow.
Good.
It's kind of nasty. I'm tasting sometimes after looking in your eyes. The world is such a in my place. Those words I can't face. But in my dreams, I've seen you a lot more. Yes, you're the type of girl everything seems to stop for. As we walk through the crazy city, broken streets beneath the feet, you're making it quite often to concentrate on anything around us. I wanna get lost in this town and never, ever, ever fail. Can I have your attention? Here's my intention. Oh, I fall in love with you. This one night, the music is just right. There's only one thing left to talk. Nose to nose, the next part. Everybody knows I lay in bed. I write songs about you. I write songs about you. I write songs about you, songs about you. Oh, and it goes something like this. A lot of time, a lot of time, a lot of time. Yeah. Believe me, I have not had this before another time. Standing with your hands in my feet, your kiss, a little on my cheek. I thought about it, kill me there. I was an ecstasy, so just one girl, lose control, lost in your world. Blows and shades, and blows they play. Before this ends, can I just say yeah? Can I have your attention? Here's my I fall in love with you. This one night, the music is just right. There's only one thing left to do. Toe to toe, nose to nose, the next part. Everybody else lay in bed, write songs about you. Can I have your attention? Here's my intention. Could I fall in love with you? This one night, the music is just right. There's only one thing left to toe, nose to nose, the next part. Everybody knows. I lay in bed and think of you and dream about your eyes are blue, blinding all the things I do to get you in it with me. So, can I have your attention? Here's my intention. Could I fall in love with you? In this one night, the music is just right. There's only one thing left to toe, nose to nose, the next part. Everybody knows I lay in bed, write songs about you. La da time, la da time, la da time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. La da time, oh, oh, la da time, oh, oh, la da time, oh, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Wow. All right. My life has changed. You were right. That was great. Wow, you guys really have a great sound. Oh, my God. Did I just say that? All right. You guys sound awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, that was really, really nice. So, you guys are, where are you playing? You're playing someplace soon?
Yeah, so let's see. This Saturday we got
This Saturday, that's going to be February 22nd?
That's
I believe so we got 2 gigs on Saturday. We're gonna play from 3 to 6 p.m. Mid City at Bayou Beer Garden.
they got
Oh my gosh, that's
They
great.
got the crawfish
Yeah,
boil
they're
going
gonna
on.
Good,
crawfish
good,
out
good.
there. My buddy Dave works there. We're gonna play
Love that
there,
place.
and then later that night we're gonna go play back uptown at Oak.
Yeah,
At
Oak.
Oak Line.
Oak Line. That's awesome.
Oh, I
Good
like that.
deal. That sounds great. Okay, thank you so much. And do you guys, do you need to put your stuff back away?
Yeah, let me.
We'll
You keep talking.
We will. We'll
And
carry
we'll
the
be
show.
right back.
All right, thanks.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So are we gonna go? We're gonna go see on Saturday somewhere?
Yeah.
Bayou Beer
don't
Garden
see
is
why
right by
not.
my house. I can just.
Yeah, it's right by my house too.
Where do you live? Oh, don't give no addresses.
No address.
I live at 555 55555. I live in 7th Ward technically, but almost Esplanade Ridge.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah?
Right. Cool. Yeah. You weren't here for the flood, right? So we didn't flood.
Yeah, I wasn't
Didn't
here.
flood much.
Didn't flood.
Yeah.
It was what, like 3 feet? No.
About
At the surge.
Yeah, about. I mean, my house just missed it by like a foot.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
Oh,
it was
that's
good. It
not
was
too bad.
great. Yeah.
My house got great bones to it. Didn't nothing really got tarnished during the storm. It seems like.
That's good. Yeah, it was all good. Michelle, you were talking about being in Plaquemines Parish, and I was surprised to hear you didn't get any damage during the storm.
Yeah, I'm in Upper Plaquemines, so on the West Bank, and so we're kind of on a ridge or something because we're near the river. So my immediate area didn't suffer much damage, but of course, down in Lower Plaquemines, it was total disaster, and a lot of people who used to live down there now live in Upper Plaquemines.
Did you lose neighbor? I mean, did people like move away or come to the neighborhood? Did your neighborhood change at all?
My immediate neighborhood didn't change
so much.
but a lot of my coworkers used to live in places like Port Sulphur and Venice, and now are living in the northern part of the parish.
Elsewhere,
So,
yeah. Yeah, it's that storm still disrupting things.
Mm-hmm.
So, Michelle, I'm just wondering if you're aware of how many
She got the
posts you had
Facebook-
yesterday.
She got the Facebook out while we were playing.
probably a
So
lot.
that's awesome.
Wow, a lot of really interesting posts yesterday, but this is what I'm really interested in. So, I'm not sure where this link is from. It says it's from Say Hello, and it says
Okay.
5 things you may not know about loneliness. Do you remember what
Okay.
they are?
No, I sure
Let's see.
don't.
Let's see what it says.
I do know it can kill you early.
And that, I think,
That's just not a song lyric. That's like a scientific fact.
yeah,
Exactly.
apparently this is a
Studies have
project. It's
shown.
called Say Hello. Share this. Just say hello.
Mm-hmm.
It's a PSA. One word may help you live longer. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 things you may not know about loneliness, and one of them is that it can kill you early.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody is just, Dr. Gupta is suggesting that we all just say hello. This is from CNN. So Dr. Sanjay Gupta is telling us to make sure we say hello. So that's
Say
nice.
hello.
It's one of those do a good deed for the day kind of things.
And
As in saying hello to someone just, hey, hello.
Right, who looks lonely.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
the constitution of New Orleans, though, isn't it? You have to
Exactly.
say hello to everyone.
Right.
yeah, but I mean, I don't think we just say hello to lonely-looking people, right?
Yeah, we kinda say
We
hello
talk to everybody.
I mean, like, is that the deal? Is the deal is that you only say hi to lonely people?
Yeah, the happy people, just leave them alone. That's not part of what
They
we
don't
do.
need. You don't need to spread the wealth. So you also, let's see. This is a link to thinkprogress.org, and it says thousands of California commuters were exposed to measles. Thanks. And there's a picture of the subway train, and I thought that was very interesting too.
Yeah, I kind of have a thing about people resisting vaccines because they give you all kinds of supposed problems, but I think it's more of a problem not to vaccinate your children because the people who generally suffer are the people around you. And actually, I have nieces who are immune compromised, and it's a genetic thing, and they're put in danger by people who are not vaccinated because they are not capable of getting immunity through a vaccine. So,
Because the vaccine could give them the disease.
well, yeah, something like that, or they just don't build the antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's dangerous for them to even go to school if other kids are not vaccinated.
Maybe you posted this, but I saw something on Facebook about, it was written by someone who was not vaccinated because her parents didn't believe in vaccinations, and she said she said it was hell.
Yeah.
She got sick all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She had her tonsils yanked out and there's stuff that, you don't even do to kids anymore. So,
Yeah.
Wasn't there some kind of like false statement that went around in the 80s or 90s saying that like vaccinations give you Asperger's?
Yep.
Or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
that can
it's
do
still
that.
apparently going around, but
That
that's
totally is.
that was based on some study in England that has now been discredited. So
Well, autism was it?
supposedly.
Yeah,
Autism or
yeah. I saw the
Asperger's?
article, another article the other day. That's crazy.
Yeah. I
didn't
have my own
realize this was
theories
that
on what
old.
causes that. Probably everything in our environment causes that.
Remember that Joe Jackson song, Everything Gives You Cancer? Remember that
Exactly.
song?
Yeah.
Yeah. We played Joe Jackson a lot at WTOL.
Me too.
Did you ever see
that
him?
album? Yes,
Yeah.
like twice.
You did?
Yeah.
I think I just saw him once, but that was Stepping Out, right? That album?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love that album. That was good. But
Night
yeah.
and Day. Night and Day was the album, and Stepping Out
You're
was one
right.
of the
Stepping
songs.
Out was the hit song, Night and Day. You're
Yeah.
good. Wow, you still got it.
I remember some things.
Yeah, that's great. Autism. So people whose kids have it, they swear it's vaccines. They really do, even now. Even now. I know it's
ridiculous.
sad. It's very sad. Does anybody? Do you know Temple Grandin? Have you heard of her? She's she's.
I've read one of her books.
You have? She's got Asperger's and is a famous animal consultant, like a What does she do? She does.
She invented that thing that hugged the cattle
Yeah.
to make them calm.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
cattle.
she,
ticket.
right. She has advanced degrees in animal husbandry,
really
and
nice.
she
That works better than hello, I'd say.
she devised
Get a hugging machine going.
she devised humane ways to butcher animals.
Yeah, I guess if,
So-
yeah, if you're going to do that, if you're going to butcher animals, I think it should be humane.
They should at
Right.
least have a hug.
Exactly.
Well said. Well said.
From Temple Grandin.
I love that. I love that. Who does? I saw. Oh, it was Kisses. It was a dog. I don't know where I was. I was recently at some fair or something. No, it was on the street. It was on the street in the French Quarter, and there was a cute. I don't know what kind of dog it was, but there was a cute girl with a cute dog, and it said Kisses, 5 cents, and it wasn't her. It was the dog.
From the
I love it.
dog.
So cute. Yeah.
Are you
Who's
doing
got-
Barkus this weekend? Or is that this weekend or is that next weekend?
I think it's this weekend.
It's this
I
weekend?
think it is.
I think there's somebody big who's the Grand Marshal.
It's
this
Airbud,
year.
isn't it?
What?
Is it?
Like Clifford the Big Red Dog Big? Or?
No, it's a human Grand
Let's
Grand
not get
Marshal, but
crazy.
now I can't remember.
Oh shoot!
That'd be
I don't
really
know
nice
either.
if they had dog grand marshals for
It
Barkus.
would be.
That would be
Yeah,
badass.
they do have a king and queen
They have a king
Really?
every year,
Oh,
huh?
that's nice.
Yeah.
And they get a crown. And
Yeah. Who's going to Barkus? Are you?
I'm
Are
gonna
you?
give it a try.
You're gonna go.
I'm
What
gonna
kind
give
of?
it a
What do
try.
you have?
I don't have a dog. I'm a dog
You're
enthusiast.
just gonna go?
My roommate hates
gonna go,
dogs,
yeah.
so it's been a real
Seriously.
limitation.
Bummer.
You hear that, Byron? Everyone knows now.
I know.
I'm trying to find out when that thing is. When
There's
the
something.
when the parade is.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, do that
Oh,
for
it's 2
us.
p.m. on
Saturday,
Oh,
22nd.
I'm gonna need to know. I need to take my puppy.
in
What-
the
what do you
corner.
have?
yeah.
I
man,
have a
you
pit.
should totally
You have a
take her.
pit? What kind of
Harley
pit?
is
What,
the
a pit?
best dog ever.
A real pit or a pit mix?
She's a rescue, so we're not entirely sure. But
And how old is she? I've got.
oh,
I've got a
actually,
pit mix.
Sunday.
fun thing about her age. They told us she was 4. We took her to a vet just yesterday, and he was like, "There's no way this dog is younger than 7."
Oh,
we were like,
wow.
"Oh, okay, neat."
Oh.
That's cute though. She's still awesome.
Oh, that's awesome, but it's just you just got 3
Yeah.
years taken off her
Oh,
life.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's actually 21 years.
I know. Right? What's her name?
sorry,
In
that was
human
Her,
years.
her name is Harley,
Harley is a good name. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
and she is lazy and lovable and obedient.
And how,
Super cuddleable
Bad.
dog.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing better, all right, than a pit's mouth. That's like a big kissable dog mouth. Do you,
Yeah.
do you kiss your dog? Yeah. I do.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I have a pit mix named Zoe, and she gets a lot of kisses. So. Do you have any other? Does Harley have a playmate?
No, we have a
She's
very
got a
small
playmate.
place. She does have a playmate. We have upstairs neighbors that also have a pit, and the two of them love each other to death. So
That's good.
they have sleepovers sometimes.
Do they?
Yeah.
Was it when somebody's out of town?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta find that. I gotta find a pet sitter. Any other animals? No kids.
Can't do it. It's in the lease, bro. I want to so bad.
One of our sponsors offers pet sitting, right?
That's right. Yes, I just read that. Yeah.
How about that? How
Petite-
convenient.
Petite. What is it? Petite pets.
Very
yeah,
clever
yeah, I've got
segue.
it. I've got it there. We'll do it. We'll do it again. So, that's a problem that I mean, I own my house, so I don't have a lease problem, but I should because my dogs chew. I mean, everything, and they've destroyed so much of my house.
How would that work if you owned your house? You just give the lease to the dog and be like, okay, this is
I
the
know,
stuff you
because-
can't chew.
That would be so good. I would love that.
You have to put down 5 cow femurs as a deposit, and then end up getting them back after. The dogs eat cow femurs. You
took a
know?
weird
That's what
turn.
they- Yeah,
You
I
know
know.
what?
Sorry.
They eat nutrient too.
They eat nutria?
Well, so
Who eats nutria?
Dogs?
So one of our
Who
other
doesn't eat nutrient?
right?
Oh,
And you make fur coats out of their fur and stuff. No, so
Yeah.
Out to Lunch is another show that is on the INO Broadcasting Network, and we had the guy that invented. I don't remember what they're called, but they're nutria treats. They're like dried. It's nutria jerky for your dogs.
Interesting.
oh,
Have you-
I-
yeah?
That's a
They're
good
not
use
only
for
for
'em.
dogs. Let me tell you.
When I first,
They're for dogs. They're only for
no,
dogs.
you can eat nutria.
I'm sure you
Yeah, you
could.
totally can.
I'm sure
just like you can
if
eat
people
McDonald's.
eat frogs and alligators, I'm sure they eat nutria.
Well, yeah. Did you ever go to Critter Dinner with Jay Maine?
No, I was invited, but I resisted because
Yeah, you'll never eat a nutrient
yeah.
if you see that they
Yeah.
they had the long orange tusks and
Oh.
I think they're adorable.
Can
Yeah.
I
I
get some
see 'em-
chips and dip over here with the? You're making me
have-
really hungry.
We have
nutria jerky, please.
Plaquemines Parish actually has a lot of those wild boar, and people go out and hunt those at night, and they actually come up into the residential areas sometimes. I've never seen one,
Never-
but
yeah.
but I know someone whose van was attacked by by a very large one. So
The
they're
van-
still.
the van was attached,
they're
destroyed.
but they narrowly got away from the
They were in the van.
the tusks. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Really?
scary. That's scary. Have you ever eaten one of the wild
No,
boars?
I haven't. No.
Anybody eaten a wild boar? No.
No.
Can't say that I
No.
have.
Though the beast of the Southern Wild kids, they use nutria
yeah.
furs on miniature potbelly pigs. So it's kind of like a combination of nutria
Yeah.
and
Wait, say that again.
pig. The beast of the Southern Wild kids,
Yeah.
when they were making the monsters, they used nutria furs as on top of pigs in order to make the beasts from Beast of the Southern Wild.
So that was what they
Those
did in the
weren't-
movie, or that's what the dress.
That's what the cast did, or the people who worked on props and
the
and
prop
animal
people.
animal
I
trainers.
did not know that.
Yeah, so
How did
it's
you know
kind
that?
of strange.
That's cool.
But yeah, so it was kind of a strange thing. I'm a big advocate of nutria, and I feel like it's a really hard
bad
position
rap.
to defend. On the gondola, I see a lot of nutria.
Well,
there are a
they're
lot of
not-
gondolas that come on.
They're not
on
indigenous
gondolas, nutria
to
that come on.
Louisiana, and they
Right.
eat up
Yeah, they are
the
invasive.
plants that keep the coastline together, so it increases erosion, coastal erosion.
Yeah, and
so
they eat up the levees too, is what I
Right,
heard.
right.
What's the story? Well, there's some legend about the Tabasco people from the Tabasco fortune bringing them in from Peru or something like that. That's what
I believed that for many years, but recently I read
You heard
that's just an urban legend.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah, I believe that too.
But they're
That's not
indigenous
true?
to somewhere in South America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, I thought. Oh.
Because the
yeah.
story I always heard was like they brought over the nutria for like fur trading, and the people in Tabasco, the Avery Island,
Yeah.
and then a big storm came and it opened up
Right.
one of the cages, and the nutria just
Got out and bred like crazy. That's
was-
what I heard.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
springtime for nutrias, and they just have done nothing but keep going.
Oh, they
Peruvian
multiply
rabbits.
very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the
Survival
problem.
of the fittest.
But what about the nutria that you see? You got a little soft spot.
Yeah, well, on the gondola, I see a lot of nutria. There are a lot of nutria that hang out in the sculpture garden behind the Noma, and they hang out. They swim. They're really good swimmers, which I didn't realize. And when I first started working there, people kept on saying like, there are gators in here, and I was like, oh, whatever. You're just trying to scare me. And then I was rowing, and I saw this thing kind of trailing through the water, this kind of like ripple coming off it, and it was just a little bit of it was poking out, and I started freaking out. Afterwards I talked to the guy who runs the gondolas. He's like, there are gators in here. I was like, okay, whatever. He's like, they're harmless, and I was like, all right, okay.
They're harmless.
They're harmless.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, they don't attack the gondola because it looks like the biggest gator imaginable. But what happened was I kept on pointing out to all these passengers. I was like, that's a gator right over there. Don't worry about it. It's afraid. But I didn't realize they were
Do you put your
nutria.
Buzz Lightyear voice on? Don't worry about that
Hey,
game.
everything's going to be all right. I'm a boat cat.
Don't worry about it. I got this big stick here.
Exactly. But they were nutria the entire time. I had no idea. I thought they were gators, and I was really excited about that. And I kept on trying to pretend like everything was okay, but it was just nutria.
You didn't figure it out when your passengers were snickering behind your
Yeah,
back.
exactly. One local pointed out, it's like, that's not a gator. There's no way.
From, boy.
There
Exactly,
have been
exactly.
real gators though in
Yeah.
the lagoons in City Park. I don't know if there still are, but
Oh, there definitely are. Owl.
Now that you can tell the difference.
and they
you've
probably
seen
eat the nutria.
And during the
So,
daytime.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, because I row at night, and so all creatures kind of just meld into one. But thankfully, the boat is huge, and so
That
they're
is a big
absolutely
boat.
terrified. It's 37 feet long.
How many people can it
It's
hold?
longer than this bar for sure. It can hold up to 6 people.
Seems like it should be able to hold more than that.
Yeah, it should, but
Safely.
it's a completely illogical form of transportation. There's nothing about it that makes sense. It's like a 1,000-year-old tradition.
Way to perpetuate the business, man.
Yeah,
Come
Doing
see
my-
me. It
my
makes
gondola-
Your boss is like
gondola
texting
sales
you that
pitch.
there's going to be like a meeting after work.
we need to talk. But yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. It's 37 feet long. It's just like a limo for the water, basically.
nice.
It was developed in Venice 1,000 years ago, kind of 1094.
Before motors.
Before motors. It's a strange place. There are no motor. There are motor boats in Venice, but everything is done by boat. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So how do you book a gondola ride?
You can check out our website.
Yeah?
nolagondola.com.
The Buzz
Nola
Lightyear
Gondola, I
voice.
love it.
Nola Gondola, even though it causes you to mispronounce the name of
It's
the
still
gondola.
more
But
fun.
it's catchy, and that's what's important.
It's a lot catchier, yeah. But it's something that I didn't like see myself doing necessarily, but I fell into it and really just can't stop doing it.
So do you have people? I mean, obviously you've had proposals on the gondola.
I've seen almost like 150 marriage proposals at this point.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it's unique because it's not like a restaurant necessarily where you like a bunch of people are there and everyone's celebrating. It's just you and these two people in perhaps like the most intimate moment of the declaration of a relationship. So it's nerve-wracking. It's absolutely terrifying.
Do you ever like
Trying not
fart?
to fart.
Just to break the tension.
Probably what I would do first and foremost.
I probably have done a lot of nervous farting.
Everybody's moving away from Michael at the table. Thanks for that. So what do I get? What do I get for a gondola ride?
Gondola ride, we have crackers and cheese. We provide glassware for you.
Oh, do we bring our own?
You can bring your own beverage. We don't necessarily provide any beverages, but you know, I think it's nicer that way. We have people who've brought anything from daiquiris to a whole huge fifth of Crown Royal to bottles of wine, of course.
How long does the gondola ride last?
50 minutes, so 50, just under an hour.
That's awesome.
And I sing on the boat.
I was going to ask
Nice.
you.
Oh,
cool.
I do.
Nice.
No, this is you can't. It's embarrassing when I have real musicians here and I admit that I sing. It's not.
You
It's
sing
not.
for a living. You're a real musician.
Yeah,
Kind
you
of.
probably have more gigs than I do.
Yeah. Way more people.
At least 150.
When I was working in Central Park, I would row for 8 hours a day, and I'd row a cruise every half hour. So sometimes I would row 16 cruises in a day, and would sing about 4 songs per cruise.
Nice.
I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Do you
So
take
what do you
requests?
sing?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
do you sing?
It's like Italian opera or what's
Sing
the-
Italian opera. Yeah, I'm not very good at it. I get called out. The embarrassing thing is I don't speak Italian.
Wow.
So I will sing these songs, and I'll have people from Italy come on the boat, and they'll be like, "Oh, you just bastardize una giornata." And like, so I mess up a bunch of different lyrics, but I'm at the point where I've sung them so many times I can't change my brain around them. Like, I just have to sing them in the right pattern. But I sing O Sole Mio
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because I was in Central Park, and all of these people would come by the boat, and they'd be like, "Why aren't you singing, buddy? Like, sing O Sole Mio." So I just like had to appease them, because they would come in droves. I sing La Donna Immobile, which is from an opera. I have one Venetian song.
Which opera?
I don't know.
That's all right. No worries. Go ahead.
An Italian one.
In Italian. I sing this song. The Venetian song's perhaps my favorite. I sing Volare. Like Dean Martin made popular.
That's
and
Amore? Do you sing that?
That's Amore. I really reluctantly sing that. I really reluctantly
And
sing
I'm going to ask for a chorus right now.
No,
Let's hear
That's
the
Amore?
gondola song.
Which
That's
one?
Amore.
Which one do you?
I want That's Amore.
I don't know all the lyrics to it, but I can.
You can do the moon lyric.
All right.
The moon and the pizza.
We
Follow
won't
me.
know. It's in
Something
Italian.
about I.
Yeah, no, it's all English. That's the ridiculous part. Is it's like a ridiculous song. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the moon starts to shine like you've had too much wine, you're in love. And I
love
honestly
that.
don't know
That's
very
awesome.
much beyond.
Yay.
Grazie. It's weird being Irish American and pretending you're Italian all the time. It literally doesn't make any sense. When I introduce people, I'm like, ciao, like, buonasera, my name is Liam. It just doesn't really. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't really work. But,
So what's the funniest, or I don't know, can you do the risque
I
stuff?
can do it. I might be able to.
We are not a family show.
I'll tell you my favorite.
Good to know.
I'll tell you one of my favorites. You get a bunch of people from different age groups that come on board, but the like I'd say the biggest outliers are younger people. You don't really get that many younger people who are hanging out. And when I was in New York, these two like super nerdy 13-year-olds came up to the boat, and they had like their shirts tucked into their pants with like maybe belts and suspenders. I don't remember. They either had one or the other. But they came up to the boat, and I was just like, oh man, like my job is to make these relationships better for 50 minutes. That's my job essentially. And I'm looking at these two, and I'm just like, I don't know where to begin. Like, I can be like a romantic like field trip tour guide, but that's like basically the best I can do. So I set off with these two 13-year-olds, and like I push off the dock and I start into my like history routine. I start talking about the history of the park and Central Park, and I start talking about everything else. And about like 2 sentences in, the girl turns and looks at me. She goes, "Yeah, shut up. We don't want to hear any of this." And they proceed to make out the entire cruise. And the glasses are just like bumping against each other's glasses.
Nice.
And they're like fogging up. And I was like, these kids are cool. These kids are a lot more advanced than me.
That's a nice story. That's great.
Oh man.
But yeah, the risque one, I can tell in short, I can tell it in long. But let's just say someone got too intimate on the boat.
What
At one
happens?
point.
And the boat flipped
You
over.
just throw them out.
Did the boat flip over?
No, the boat didn't flip over. The boat's hard to flip over. But I know. But I should have done that. I should have rolled it on purpose. But basically,
What do you do when that happens?
I was singing. I was just singing. I didn't know what else to do. I just kept singing. And I was
Try not to laugh.
yeah.
You need one of those
His
squirt
pants
bottles
were
like you do
down.
with your cat. Get away.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But basically, this guy rolled up with like this tall, leggy blonde on his arm, and they jumped on the boat, and then
Leggy.
I pushed off, and I know this.
It's a good. I've never used that term, man.
She's
but
got
that's a good
word.
She got gams.
Leggy.
She's got gams. But they jumped on the boat, and it wasn't 2 minutes before pushing off before I saw him half naked on my boat,
Wow.
and her doing something about that.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for her.
So way to be a sport and keep singing.
Good for you.
I hope they gave you a big tip after
Total
that.
bro.
I only know 5 songs. I had to sing them on repeat the entire time.
He
Figure out
just
what to do with
stops
your eyes.
mid whatever he's doing. Hey man, you know anything else?
And he came back after that. He came back the
Oh,
next
no,
time
with
with 2
somebody else?
girls. 2 girls, yeah.
Did you turn
is
him away?
ridiculous. No,
course
he
not.
tipped pretty nicely. So
There you
yeah.
go.
What happened when he brought 2 girls?
He kept on saying it was actually one of the girls from the last time. It was the same girl from last time, and then a different girl. And he kept on saying, like, as he was rowing, he's like, "Oh man, I could really go for a threesome right now." And it was 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm sure my 13-year-olds were like revolving around the boat on a rowboat, like somewhere close by. It was in the middle of the afternoon in Central Park, and he wanted to go for a threesome on my gondola.
Awesome. That was in New York.
That was in New York.
So people here are more well behaved.
No, absolutely
that's-
not.
All right. All right. So hey, we heard music from Liam. You guys ready to play something else?
Absolutely.
Cool, man.
Yeah. All right.
Another?
All right. Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. We'll talk while you get ready.
What
Okay.
do y'all want to play?
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
So let's talk about the Italian opera. I mean, you don't sing? Do you sing opera? Can you sing as a bar?
I'm sure I can sing you, but I'll sing you.
all right.
Okay.
This is really unique, by the way, because the benefit to singing on a gondola is I'm looking at the back of people's heads. I row in the back of the boat, and 2 people sit in front of me, and so I don't have to look them in the face. I don't know what to do with my face when I'm.
Should we turn around, Michelle?
I-
Turn around? Yeah.
All right,
We're ready.
I'll do La Donna Mobile.
Okay,
This
I
is
can't
one of the most famous Italian opera songs.
I'm not looking. Go.
La donna immobile, qual piuma al vento, muta de accento e di pensiero, sempre una amabile, leggiadron viso, un pianto in riso e mesognero.
Oh, beautiful. That's great.
Yeah,
Nice.
Thank you. It's all right. I've had professional singers come on the boat and be like, "I've got some tips for you," because it's actually not the part of the gondolier's jobs to sing. It's not a part of the tradition.
Really? It's not. What do they do in Italy?
They just row. They see it as kind of like more of a brute force job, and
No entertainment.
And it's kosher to be silent for the most part.
God, that seems like that would be awkward.
If you can call an Italian Catholic tradition kosher,
Nice,
but
nice.
but it is kind of awkward in some ways. There's one gondolier in Venice who I trained under that sings, and so I got a chance to see how he does it. But
Did you just say you trained under a gondolier in Venice?
Yeah, I was there for
Wow.
2 weeks, and I ended up learning how to row, and
cool.
it was cool. It was
Wow.
amazing. I was really lucky, and the man who taught me how to row originally had connections there still, and so it's very rare that you get a chance to do it.
What were you in Venice for originally?
My brother lives in Barcelona, and I was visiting him, and decided I found a cheap flight to Venice. I was like, I have to go here for the origin. I learned in Oakland, and this is about 5 years in as I went to Venice.
So when you were there, it was kind of like doing some research.
Yeah, I was doing research. I write about it too, and so I wanted to kind of understand what the origin was like.
Right on.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And you're a journalist too, right?
Yeah, I write sometimes weird. Ask me about a job I haven't had for 2 months, and I'll tell you.
We'll talk about that. Are you guys? What are we playing?
Can I ask him a question real quick?
Yeah.
Do you have like a no protocol when they say no
I don't. I've never experienced the no.
for like a proposal?
For proposals, yeah.
I was just wondering, like after 150, somebody had to say
flip the
no.
boat? That's
like,
when you should flip the
I would,
boat.
because I would just jump out and swim away. I would.
That's so awkward.
That would be a long ride back.
Yeah. It's like I haven't
I'd be done.
experienced the
Like
no.
you can row the boat back. I'm out.
Yeah. When that happens to you, you gotta let us know.
Yeah.
Then you guys can play some songs to
Oh,
try
yeah.
and iron out the difficulty in the
Absolutely.
relationship.
We'll be there.
Learn a lot of Atlanta's Morissette. Angry chick songs.
But yeah, no, I've never experienced one, thankfully. I've talked to gondoliers who have, though. and
Oh, that would be
it seems
terrible.
pretty rough.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just curious.
Yeah.
That's a good
No,
question.
I-
Very good.
I worry
awesome
about it
question.
too. I just go in assuming it's going to be a no every time. And I've
Just
been
so you're
really
already
lucky to
prepared.
see
Do
like
you, that's
150
smart. Just to
yeses.
prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Do you have an exit strategy if it happens?
No, I will just go to the closest bank, river bank or bayou bank,
And let the guy
just
out?
let him. Yeah, let someone out.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
You can't put him at fault necessarily.
No,
but
But he's probably the one that wants to leave.
he's probably the one who wants to leave.
Yeah.
So. But it's rough. And the friends who told me about it say that it's just a silent ride back.
Man,
It's just a silent ride back.
that's when you got to sing.
That's when you got to sing as best as you can.
You got to tap dance then.
That's the
too.
13-year-old thing again. The guy's like, "Hey, buddy, no, cut that shit out."
All right, guys, what are we hearing?
The song's called "Here We Are."
All right.
She lays on my bed so quietly. Such a sad, sad thing for me to hear her see why. The curve of her body bends to me. She lays on my bed so quietly. I'll do anything just to hear her sing to me why. The world lays so fast asleep. And still here we are. And chases all my love away from me, except for what is left for she who's made of pure liquid and jealousy. Why? The being's trying to tell me what she's doing to me. It's the ultimate one-sided romance. Oh, but how my ears they love to chase like my fingers love to dance. But the being's still trying to tell me what she's done to me. And still here we are. Just spin my guitar. She's the only one who knows. Yeah. How this story that love had me jaded, thinking it was sent from heaven up above. But the pin's still trying to tell me what she's done to me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Is you here we are? Spin my guitar. Oh, 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 oh. She's the only one who knows. Yeah, yeah. How this story go? Oh, 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 and still here we are.
Awesome. That's beautiful. You were not going to fool us with that second false ending, all right? You remember, Michelle, when we were at the radio station, every track that had a false ending, there'd be like a big
sign
false,
saying-
false ending. Guys, that was great. Okay, so what time at what time Saturday at Bayou Beer Garden?
Saturday's 3 to 6
3 to
at
6?
Bayou Beer Garden.
And what time at
They'll be doing some crawfish out there, and then we'll do 9 to 12 at Oak.
9 to 12.
And
Okay.
then we'll be around during Mardi Gras too. So
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a CD out already, or no?
yeah,
you do.
We
What do you
have a
got?
CD out. You can find all of our music and stuff. It's just the band name Hazy Ray, HAZYRAY.com.
Where can we get it? Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Apple,
You just go to
iTunes?
the websites
Yeah.
can direct you where you want to go.
Your
Facebook,
website.
Twitter, our videos, our schedule. Yeah. stuff like that.
HazyRay.com?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I'm going to get out there. It's so close to my house. I'm just going to walk over.
Oh,
to it.
awesome.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Yeah.
You guys, can you believe it? It is over. Happy hour is over. It is time for us to say goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you for having
really
us.
appreciate
Thank you.
everybody coming. It's been really great. So, executive producer of today's show was Grant Morris. Associate producer and technical director is Chris
Can I give a
Kehoe.
special what's up to Grant? We miss Grant.
We miss Grant.
We miss Grant.
Get better.
You were awesome.
Thank
yeah, you were
you.
great. You're phenomenal. We just,
Grant is suffering with back pain, so get better, Grant. Associate producer and technical director is Chris Kehoe. Music director is Christian Unruh, and our music coordinator is Joshua Brown. The theme was written and is being played right now by Mitch Foreman. The fabulous audio quality of the show is brought to you in part by PreSonus Audio Electronics. PreSonus makes some of the best audio recording and live sound products, including Studio One music production software, Studio Live digital mixing consoles, Era Studio monitors, and much more. Visit www.presonus.com for more information. And if you'd like to be on the show, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. You should also check out our other happy hours and our other shows. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live at Commander's Palace. Mindset with psychiatrist Dr. Nick Paget. True to the Game with Chris True and Tammy Nelson. Viet Nola, our show about the New Orleans Vietnamese community with the Vietnamese Terry Gross, Kim Vu. And Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Canada. Keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and a bunch of other time-sucking social media, on all of which we are It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and Facebook. Those photos are taken and are being taken right now by the fabulous Douglas Engel. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this on iTunes, Stitcher, Swell, or another podcast app, thanks for subscribing. Take a minute to rate us, please, and review us, and that helps other people find us. We are recording live today at the beautiful, the fabulous, the magnificent, the marvelous Casa Borrego. Please come
If
by.
you haven't eaten here, you need to.
It's so good. And come by any Thursday from 4 to 5, even if you're not a guest on Happy Hour, just hang with us here. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Grant Morris, for Andrew Duhan, who is our Happy Hour troubadour and is in Sri Lanka, but I hope we'll be back for the next show. And everybody back at the INO Broadcasting office. I'm Graham da Ponte, and don't forget to join us next time on Happy Hour.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes, warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5 minutes. And you'll always find people ready to help you, not sell you. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and a member FDIC. Cafes available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.